my recap of last week's game, I would like to say that it was something that, from my point of view, the defense definitely prepared for. Something that starts from Monday. Honestly, from Sunday, we always preach about throwing the game behind our heads. The day after, going and getting prepared for next week, and that's exactly what we did. From the DB point of view, we always focus on the little things. It came from film study as a team, like we always talked about being player-led. That's proven to be pretty successful in increasing our chemistry on the field and off the field. So communication has been able to be great from this, and I mean that's basically what we're planning on taking into this week, and the focus and preparations that we're taking. As long as we get the same results and work hard for the results that we produced last week, I believe in the team.
Questions?
-4 and turnovers against USC, +5 against McNeese. What changed?
Like I said, the preparation. Obviously, it comes from being locked into the smallest of details, and that's something that we preached about with down and distance and alignments and any of those type of calibration that we could put in before the snap.
And then had a couple tip passes for them that went up and got caught last week. A little bit of sweet justice that y'all got a tip pass, a drop snap that the luck seems to bounce your way a little bit for a change.
Yeah, being here for 5 years, I constantly heard, always run through for the ball. There's tips and overthrows. So, constantly, hearing that in your head it's an immediate reaction to keep running. Be prepared for the ball. Be bounced up. You never know what's gonna come your way.
And then, what was it like watching? Because you got yours, and you had somebody in your way. What was it watching Gabe get that pass and then weave through everybody?
It was great. We always preach Medina, so honestly, the entire defense was more ecstatic for him than maybe he was, because obviously running 90 yards, I wouldn't be able to celebrate as much as my teammates probably would too. But it was great seeing him, use the speed that he's been showing in practice. Great, putting all the extra work in that we do before and after, onto the camera and letting everybody else see what we've been doing.
Coach talked a little bit about Louisiana. Got a couple quarterbacks and playmakers on that side of the ball. How do you think y'all line up with them, and what are you kind of focusing on to make sure that you have another good result this weekend?
I believe it'll be a great matchup. As long as everybody, lock in, like we preached about the details. For me, my point of view, as a Viper, I have multiple responsibility as a hybrid. I need to learn the offensive alignment as well as the exterior of the offense. So my keys are obviously, trying to figure out the whole 11, trying to figure out, what catches and gimmicks they might, show or anything of that sort. Keeping the defense aligned, being able to make sure we're fast and physical, and being able to move without thinking by the time the play begins.
What's it like to watch your defense play as well as it did seem like everything was in sync?
It's great. It's something that Coach Smith always preaches. Having Ken on the D-line as somebody we trust, that's something big as well. So knowing that he's going to have his front four, situated, knowing that we got, some experience with Chris Conti coming in to give us some leverage at the linebackers. It's been giving us a lot of trust, and knowing that we can do our 1-11, knowing that, I force him to cut back. My man is right here. He's not going to overrun. He's going to pursue the ball, and that all comes from the chemistry that's created through practice. And I guess obviously the amount of effort that we give. Everybody's giving 100% in practice, so it'll be 110% in the game.
Things didn't go your way at USC for different reasons, and it's a really good team. And anytime you lose a turnover margin like that, it's not going to be good. But you coming off, everything went well against McNeese. Just talk about, how upbeat everybody is for practice this week.
Honestly, we took last Monday's practice the same way as we took this Monday's practice, and I believe it's going to go the same way. You know, we practice the same way that we always are because we're Rice Owls. We are Rice Owls. We're here, you know, to make a play and show what we can do. Every practice is its own entity, and we know that as long as we come out and perform the best way that we can in practice, the results will show, and that's exactly what we're working for.
Hey Treshawn, you've been through a lot, injury-wise, on the field the last couple years. You've always bounced back. Talking to Coach Spencer in the preseason, he said you bulked up. Thought you were fast. I'm interested to hear your first-person narrative about what you've gone through, but also how you've backed your body, ready, you've been more mature.
Last year was kind of a grind, you know, with it happening in the first game against Arkansas, first half. Basically, you know, the season on the edge of ending right there, and you know, going through a few more games before, you know, making a call. But you know, the bounce back has been strong. Being in and out of the rehab, being in and out of the training room, has been able to allow me to work on the smallest of muscles, the smallest nerves that I could possibly, you know, kind of lock in on and focus on, and that I've been able to do that with my shoulders, as everybody knows that, and it also goes into working on my, you know, my legs, as you know, focusing on, you know, the key points and the smallest muscles that, you know, may be weak on the football field. Has been able to allow me to focus on every other muscle in my body that's been able to allow me to fine tune, you know, what I've been wanting to create. And in terms of speed, I believe so too. I've been able to, you know, fluctuate my weight and be able to control it the way I want to this year. So I definitely believe that, you know, with my stretches and, you know, the mobility that I've gained, it had to give me some speed somewhere.
Anything else? Anything else, everybody?